For more than a century, dairy families have lived and farmed in communities across California, many on the same land for multiple generations.
Well, I was born on this dairy. My great-grandfather established this ranch in 1893, and my grandfather and father operated it prior to me.
The Giacomazzi family has indelible roots in the Central Valley. It's the land for their dairy cows that brought them here, but the community that keeps them here.
In the late 40s, my family donated some land next door to the dairy to put in a fire station. In the 50s, they donated property to build the school, and the school is still there. I went to that school, my sisters went to that school, my son will go. This local community being rural, you know, the school is kind of the center of the community.
The Giacomazzi family was dedicated to education. A farmer or a dairyman doesn't just give up 10 acres of land for nothing, but the land was actually donated for a school, and that says a lot about the values that that family has.
Here's an interesting picture.
Dino's father, Don, sat on the school board for 25 years, a record for the school district. And today, Dino himself is on the board, even though 3-year-old Miro won't begin his education for another 2 years. It's that kind of personal investment that defines dairy farmers like the Giacomazzis. 4 generations have nurtured this dairy as it's grown, and 4 generations have given selflessly to the community they call home. Whether they're on the dairy or in town, their guiding principle is clear: to make the Central Valley a better place for all.
What I'm doing here to protect groundwater has nothing to do with me living here. What I'm doing here to reduce emissions has nothing to do with me living here. It's just it's the right thing to do, whether I live here on the farm and do it, or I live off the farm and commute to work. I mean, you know, there's other people living in the community, and they're just as much of a concern for me as my family is.
Some might call Dino's approach to dairying sustainable. He calls it being part of a community.
It's impossible to separate a dairy from a community. We are totally intertwined. Not only do we provide nutrition to the community, we provide jobs for the community, we provide resources to the community, we provide stewardship of the land and the resources of the land for the community.
And that's the way dairymen are. Family is absolutely the top of their list, and their community is everything to them.
Look out there.
Tony Mendez is a 3rd-generation dairy farmer in Riverdale, California. His idea of giving back to the community came in the form of this digital mammogram machine, a project funded by California Dairies, Inc., or CDI. CDI is a cooperative made up of 450 dairy families.
Because the position that community hospital has in the community, being the safety net provider, we provide mammography for essentially anyone who needs it. And digital mammography is more expensive. And honestly, we couldn't have afforded the project without the support of people in the community, like the dairy industry.
It was 2009. It was the worst year in the United States for the dairy industry. Dairymen were losing enormous amounts of equity. Many were going out of business. For them to step up to the plate like that really says something about their character. I'm very proud of them, very proud of CDI, very proud of the dairy industry.
CDI's gift to Fresno and the women of the Central Valley was born of necessity, but for Tony, it was also of personal loss.
The need is for everybody, but it did strike home because I lost my wife 10 years ago to breast cancer. She was the type of person that always had checkups, and she had her mammograms. But in those days, they didn't have this revolutionary digital mammogram. I can't say, but just maybe, if something like that was available at that time, it would have worked. So yes, it has special significance to me.
Ultimately, for California dairy farmers, the impact of being good neighbors becomes the very backbone that sustains their communities.
Each generation gives more and more, and pretty soon you build up a society, a community, a sustainable area, a place you can live and work and raise your family.
The families who are the California dairy community have a long-standing legacy of sustainability that goes well beyond the freestall barn. Their work gives them purpose, but their communities give them home.
Sustainability is an attitude, and we've been operating here pretty much the same way for 118 years.
Their life is their community, and they believe in a sustainable community.